Hey guys, welcome to the shop. I'm Paul Kepner. I wanted to do a quick walkthrough and kind of show and tell on this lathe. I've posted a few things on Facebook and Instagram about it, and I've had a lot of people asking if I could do a little bit more thorough kind of going over it and showing what it does. So you may see cats in here occasionally. So anyway, this is the lathe. Yeah, got it in December. Had a lot of issues, not with the machine itself, but with the company I bought it from. Really horrible. The lathe was damaged in shipping, and so I had to repair some of the pieces myself. So, like you see all these marks here, this whole thing, this whole sheet metal panel was completely destroyed, and so I had to hammer it out and try to flatten it out. These were damaged, the handles were. This one's damaged. It was pushed into the top of the headstock. You can see the scratches here. I'm going to make a new handle for this, make it longer, and the same thing with this one, make them longer, make it easier to grab, because right now it's kind of tight. This handle was damaged, it was bent, this whole thing was unusable, so I had to machine the end and make it work, and so now it works fine, so I'm happy about that. This is Skittles. So let's get started. So this machine is a 1440, which basically means this is a 10-inch chuck. I can hold pieces that are 14 inches in diameter up to 40 inches in length. So it's a decent size home lathe. This end is your headstock. This is a little piece of carpet I put up here because there's a little recessed area that you can put your tools, but the carpet keeps it from getting scratched up. Your chuck key for the chuck. This right here changes your speeds on the chuck for when you're turning different metals. These two right here are for threading, for different thread pitches, whether you're doing imperial or metric. These change the speeds on the feed, and I'll show you in a second, of how it cuts the metal. You can also do it manually, and it also changes whether you want your lead screw or your feed screw turning at the time. The digital readout does work. I've just got a cover on it right now. So it displays in inches as well as metric, and you can convert it over either way for it to display. Right now it's displaying in inches or imperial. So it measures your X, which is your left and right, and your Y, which is in and out. So if I'm turning this, you can see the numbers changing on it right now. If I turn this, you can see the numbers are changing. And you can zero it out and set it however you want. It does have a light right here, and honestly it's a hunk of crap. It's very loose and jiggly, and the second time I used it, I don't know if you can see it, but oops, hi Star. The second time I used it, the glass shattered, so I'm going to replace that one with an LED type. Let me turn the machine on. So this is your coolant pump. So when you're cutting something, if you need to cool it off or add some type of lubrication, there's a switch right here for it. And I have it turned down right now, but so yeah, you can turn it up to a full squirt, or I just had it down. I really like that feature. And then of course it drains into the pan, comes down, and then drains into the pump, which I'll show you. Sorry, Star. You can't get up here. I'm turning it on. This right here is what's called a micrometer carriage stop. So basically, it's loose right now. I can tighten it down, but you can basically set it anywhere you want. Set the micrometer, and then as you turn the carriage, it will stop at a certain spot. So that way you can't go any further. It could be whether you're setting it for depth on a part that you're making, or stopping it from hitting the chuck. Because if you hit the chuck with the tool, it's a bad racket and you break stuff, with no doubt. The tooling that's on here is what's called a quick change tool post. So if you see, I've got a shelf over here, all my different tooling up here. So say if I wanted this cutoff tool right here, this I just hit it like that, loosen it up, pops off, put it back on, and then tighten it down, and then I can cut. Put this other one back on. So, like I said, this lever right here moves it in and out. This one right here, left to right. This one right here is for your fine adjustment. If you're cutting threads, you can use this for setting the depth on your threads. So on this one, you lift it up. It feeds a fine feed going this way when you're cutting metal. Push it in, lift it up, or push it down, and then it feeds a fine feed going in and out. And then this one you push it down, and it moves it faster, but it's for cutting threads, making screws and things. I'll demonstrate. So lift it up. That's the fine cutting. Push it in, go down. That's this way, right here. And then this, for cutting threads. This lever is what's called your half nut. So when you engage this, it's for threading, and then it makes the carriage and the tool cut your threads in a very specific way. This is your dial, or thread dial, so you can see where you're cutting and where to pick up on it. And this swivels in and out. If you push this down, spins it forward, lift it up, or in reverse. One other thing I forgot to show you. This lever right here, this is for threading. So if you have it over to the left, it's for right hand threads. Move it over to the left, or to the right, and then it's left hand. Sorry, it's backwards. So, yeah, like I said, if you push it down, it spins forward. And there's reverse. So I really, really like this machine. One thing I did add that it didn't come with is there's a piece of LED stripping under here. Where's the end? I'll see if you can see it. That strip, piece of aluminum track with LEDs in it. Sometimes when I'm cutting, I don't like just this light. Sometimes it's nice to have a backlight so you can kind of see through the part depending on what you're doing. So I installed this box. This thing just floats up here. But if you push that, then it lights it up in the back. And so that way you can see your part. And it also has a dimmer, so if it's too bright, I can turn it down. So usually I just keep it on full the whole time, which is, I really like that. I'm so glad I put that on there. Sorry, cat. This is your tailstock. This slides in and out. You can put drill bits. You can put parts on here. I mean, all sorts of things for working with the lathe. This is a live center. This spins. So if you have something bolted in there, this would hold it up on the end and it would spin with the lathe. This moves in and out. And to pull your tool out, because it's stuck right now, just retract it and it pops it loose automatically. And you go out and then hit it and then it's back in. So like I said, this thing slides forwards and backwards. There's a lever right here. So you can push that down and locks it in place. So yeah, this is just a little tray that I keep down here. So if I'm making little parts, I can just throw them in here, or keep a spare screwdriver or whatever. It sits down here. It sits under all the moving parts, and that way if I'm running coolant, it doesn't get wet. It's kind of, that was $1 and it's well worth it. Yeah, that's about it for up here. Like I said, you've got this. These are all drill bits up here. You can't see it on camera, but I've got taps and dies, center punches, more drill bits, a whole bunch of stuff. Some of the big drills I have, those some pretty good size ones, up to a 1 inch. and it'll work. It'll cut larger. Yeah, that's really it for up here. There's not a whole lot. This right here, I just put a little magnet here. This is just a piece of little bar or something like that. But sometimes if you're cutting a piece off and you don't want it to just fly across the room or fall straight down, then you have to dig under the shavings. Very carefully, you can use this and go inside the part, and then when it cuts off, it's held on right here. So these two magnets serve no purpose. I just stuck them up there. And then this one is a little magnetic parts tray. I had some little screws and I didn't want to lose them, so I left them there and put it there so I can see it. Again, it doesn't serve a purpose. This brush, just to brush off shavings and stuff. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see under it. All these shavings. These get stuck up here, and then as you're moving the carriage, they can get in the ways and can damage it, so you don't want to do that. I need to clean that. Sorry, I've been busy. Yeah. All right, so I'll run the camera down lower, let you see the lower half of the machine, and then show you what it is and the parts to it. So this is the cabinet on the left side of the lathe right now. In here, so this, I have spare chucks in here, as well as your steady rest, follow rest, the water pump that came with the lathe, which was actually damaged in shipping, and so I had to put another one in there. Nice star. And I got some miscellaneous tools and stuff like that in there. On the cabinets, I put in a wood shelf here, just so it will keep from scratching everything. Same thing, I put a wood liner down there to keep from, whoop, sorry Star, keep from messing up the chucks. You don't want to scratch them. That's a 4-jaw chuck right there. There we go. Then as you move over, you'll see this bar right here. This is your foot brake for the lathe. So as the lathe is turning, you just push on it and it shuts the lathe off immediately. Shuts the electricity from it, turns the motor off, and then it has a drum brake on it that instantly stops the chuck from spinning. So really nice feature to have. So like I said, this is the right cabinet. Oh, cat just jumped on me. So if you look down below, this is your coolant pump with all the fluid and everything in it. New star. This is a toolbox that came with it. Excuse me, Star. Just came with change gears, things like that. I'm going to make a little fixture and put all the gears up in one spot. So, but that's the gears. You switch them out depending on when you're doing threading, depending on the thread pitch and everything. So you switch those out. Also came with extra jaws. These are outside jaws for the chuck, which is really nice. Screwdriver, that's about it. So. And again, made a wood shelf here, so it keeps everything from getting scratched. Also absorbs moisture, so kind of helps keep the rust down. This is just a little tuna can, no big deal. I just keep little spare screws and stuff in there. That's about it. And again, this is the foot brake right here. So, but yeah, that's the right cabinet. And then, of course, I had to get leveling feet for it to level out the lathe. Got 6 of those. Sorry, cats love to get in the way. That's all right, they rule the house. So that's it. Yeah, so that was a quick overview on the lathe here. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, leave it down below and let me know. I'll be happy to answer them for you. People have asked, what did I get this lathe for? There's some parts for cameras and for lenses that I wanted to make, and I've called and talked to several machine shops, and they gave me an astronomical price that would usually easily cost more than this lathe. And I've had a lathe in the past, so I know how to work them. I'm proficient with them. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm not a machinist, but I do pretty good. Well, I do okay. I'll say that. I don't want to get conceited. But yeah, so that's what the plan is. And then, of course, along the way, if anybody has any custom parts they want made, then I'll do that. Or, you know, if somebody has a part that they need repaired or turned or whatever, whether it's a car, motorcycle, whatever, you know, I'm open to working on it for them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, be sure and leave me a thumbs up. Be sure and hit the bell, hit subscribe, so that way you'll be notified on all new videos. I just restored a 35-year-old, roughly 35-year-old commercial drill press, and so I filmed everything from start to finish, and so that's going to be a multi-part, because I have about 8 hours of video there. Sorry, you probably hear cats. Yeah, that's about it for right now. Again, thanks for hanging out with me for a minute. Let me show you the lathe. So if you have any questions, like I said, just leave it down below. Until next time, this is Paul Kepner. Thanks for watching.